Hello, my convicts and convicats. Yes, it is I, the Convict, bringing you guys a first in a review of the 28-inch BenQ monitor that stands behind me. Now, I actually bought this off Amazon and I did mistakenly buy it. If you watch my unboxing for it, which I will try and put in the description below to show you the actual unboxing, I accidentally bought this because of the big screen. I wasn't aware it was 28 inches. When I actually bought this. Now I have a problem that when I go in and I actually go and buy things, I scroll to the bottom and it shows you other things related to that monitor, and I ended up buying this one thinking it was a smaller monitor as such. Now, I wanted it for the 144 Hz, which is what this monitor does. It's 144 Hz, which again, I didn't actually know that was true, because I always thought it was 60 Hz, and I was like, oh my god, I bought a monitor at 60 Hz, but this is actually 144 Hz. This monitor here. I've just actually been going and writing down some notes here to exactly what this has on it, and I thought I'd go through it. So this is metallic grey, this monitor here. Let me move this out of the way as well. And it's got some really cool features. It's UHD, it's 4K, and you also have HDR, which is here on this little label, which if I bring you a bit closer, you're able to see right there. And HDR, you can actually press this button here and you can opt in to choose whether or not to have HDR or not. Now, if you notice when I press it here, HDR is not lit up in blue, which means that this screen in particular does not have HDR. But if I press the button and keep pressing it, now it's got HDR on. And then this one is BI Plus on. What that basically does, the BI Plus actually helps to adjust the monitor for that long gaming sessions that you have, so you have less eye fatigue and obviously screen flicker as well and anything like that. Now, I've never experienced any screen flicker from this particular monitor myself anyway, and it's actually done really, really well. Well, the cool feature about this HDR down here and having that is the ability to emulate HDR, because if you don't have HDR or the game doesn't support HDR, such as like Apex Legends doesn't, and also the very recently game coming out, Rogue Company, they don't support HDR. So you can press this little button here and you can actually emulate HDR on them, and it actually gives you a much improvement to the game, the experience, the look of the game, and the colors in the game as well. Even though it's emulating it, it's actually really, really good. So all in all, I've been really, really proud of this purchase. It is a very expensive piece of kit, but it's actually been really, really awesome. So thank you very much, BenQ. We salute you, buddy. And on Twitter, if you don't follow me at the Convict with no spaces on Twitter, you'll actually notice that BenQ, especially BenQ UK, I've actually said that they were watching me from my previous video, which is really cool. I think it was round about the time I did my unboxing or just before that. And they actually said, we're watching you, which, hi BenQ. Hi, everybody at BenQ. It's really cool and awesome. I thank you very much. And again, we salute you here. As you can see here, we've got a gameplay from Modern Warfare to go out as well as this video. But I thought I'd do them both together and get them both out the way while Rio's upstairs keeping himself busy. So, another couple of features here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually move the camera around. Excuse the slight clicking here. And we're going to get a slightly better look at the monitor. So the monitor does tilt. You can tilt it back, even though I probably can't do it with one hand. Well, I can. And I can tilt it. I can bring it back down. As you can see, I can move it. That's it moving, not the actual bottom. That's just the monitor's head moving back and forth. So it has that ability to tilt backwards if you want to tilt it backwards. If you obviously sit like me and I'm sat on here, you want to keep this to be eye level. So obviously pushing this monitor further back like so means that obviously my eye level is going to be here where it should be when you're actually using a physical monitor. So just to quickly show you around the back of the monitor as well, if I can. I may have to change the camera around a little bit. There's the BenQ sign there. And then underneath here, we've got the ports, the power supply, it's got display port, and it's also got the audio there as well. So that obviously you can have a 3.5mm jack in the back. and that's all it's got on there in terms of the different features. Now this is a special 4K cable, this one, that I currently use. I like to use that obviously to make the display as good as possible, and obviously the speed in which the signal goes from console to this device as well. So I've tried using DisplayPort with this, which I do have a HDMI to DP to DisplayPort. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Now, I've done some reading up, and it's not obviously the monitor, it's the PlayStation, or it's something like the connector between. Obviously, you're going to have to pay quite a lot of money to get a pretty decent display port, which will actually physically work with this. I've always wanted to try it, but unfortunately, just not as of yet. You can see the game DAC here on the front, that I use from SteelSeries with my Arctis 5s, which you can use it with any SteelSeries product. So all in all, this is a great monitor. So some of the features you can do here, which I'll show you, is you can come into the various screens. You've got eye care. So you've got the blue low light. You can choose between multimedia. You can choose between web surfing, office, and reading. There's the BI, which you can turn on and off. You can also have a light meter, and you can have a sensor as well. So it will pick up automatically itself and sense if that screen's too bright, and then lower it down to reduce eye fatigue. You can choose the sharpness, which I have mine on 10. You can choose AMA, which I've got currently on the premium. I'm not sure what AMA actually does, but there you go. We've also got advanced, which you can go onto various different modes. There's HDR, there's cinema HDR, low blue light, there's game, photo, sRGB, and Rec 709, which I don't actually know what that means or what that's for. Or you can just have the standard. As you can see, I like mine on the HDR. You get super resolution, which mine's currently on free at the moment. You get display modes, obviously, overscan, obviously, HDMI, RGB, PC range. I've got mine between 0 and 255 because I've actually got it configured in the PlayStation as well, so that it's the same as what it displays on here. So the 0 to 255, I've also got that on the PlayStation as well, so they mirror each other. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. If you're doing that and you're doing it and you have this different to your PlayStation, you're doing it wrong. You listening? You're doing it wrong. So once you've got that one down, and we've done that one, you've got smart focus, display mode, overscan. Yeah, we've done that one, and that's it for there. And further down, we've got the audio volume. Obviously, you've got built-in speakers to this monitor as well. And these are where you can save the inputs. You can save custom keys. You've got auto input switch, power, resolution notice, information about the current resolution, which is down as 4K, 3840 by 2160 over at 60 Hz. And obviously that's the optimal resolution for 4K as well. And that's about it. That's all it has in it. Now, do I recommend this monitor? I definitely do. It's absolutely brilliant. It's been probably one of the best buys I've ever had, even though it does cost a pretty penny. I think it's about $299 at the moment on Amazon. I will link it in the Amazon description as well, so you can check that out on there as well. I was going to have a look, but I'd have to use my phone to do that, which I'm recording with, so I don't think we'll be doing it anytime soon. So would I recommend this? I definitely would. I think this has been one of the best purchases I've ever made in terms of a BenQ monitor. It's such a nice and sleek monitor that's really, really nice and works extremely well. It's quite weighted as well, so trying to knock it, it doesn't really move that often because of the front part here. And being metallic, it's really, really nice design. It's nice flat screen, bit of a curve at the back, which is cool. It's got the vents coming out the side here. It's got like a little vent design down the sides here that you can see. As I go a bit closer, you can see them all. And you can see my PlayStation behind this. I did move my monitor a little bit to obviously keep it in focus. And there you go, the BenQ monitor. So if you're watching BenQ, definitely you want to go out and buy one of these. They are really, really cool. Now it is 144 Hertz on here. It's 5.7 kg. It's got 1 millisecond response time. It's got FreeSync. So if you've got any pesky games, especially on PC, and you need FreeSync, this also does FreeSync as well. What else have we got on here? We've got the iCore Tech with a low blue light, and it's also, as I've said, flicker free as well on there. And then you've got the display port and then the HDMI to it as well. And it's an absolute beast. Now, I used to have BenQs before. I've had one other BenQ before, which actually, funnily enough, was my very first BenQ I've ever bought. And it was a cool monitor. I bought it because I'm obviously a big fan of optic gaming, and the boys obviously at one point were using BenQ monitors, and noticed during obviously them doing one of the tourneys that they were doing, and I was like, oh, okay, optic cues, BenQ. So I want to figure out who BenQ is. What is this BenQ? And obviously this is what led me to my first purchase of a BenQ monitor. I can't tell you which one it was, but it seemed okay. It probably wasn't the better choice. I know it was cheap. I think it was about £120. I think I paid for that one. And there was a bit of a slight issue with ghosting at the beginning of the actual using of the monitor, and then eventually it would wear in, or you had to wear in the monitor a little bit. You know, like a new pair of shoes, they feel a bit stiff, and then you wear them in, and then they seem to fit nice and snug. It was a bit like that with the monitor, but with this one, I've not had any issues at all. It's been absolutely insanely good, and I've not had any problems with this at all. It's been really, really good from the get-go, and the clearness of the map, especially playing such as like PUBG, if you're a big fan of PUBG, this one actually did really, really well for showing up that map, and especially at long distances when you've got those people trying to sneaky peek you over stuff. This actually did extremely well to pinpoint them out. And because it's a bigger monitor as well, it is 28 inches, this one, means that obviously smaller or further away details seem to be more clearer as well. And with this kind of technology, you can also reduce those dark areas. So if you like playing Modern Warfare and you hate those people camping in buildings, there's actually configurations you can do in this which will actually still keep that level of detail in game, but actually brighten those darker areas as well. And it's got all the HDR features you would want in games as well. So if you're going through games and you're playing them and you go in the in-game settings of your games like Modern Warfare, you can actually customize the HDR. You can also go onto the PlayStation on here, which I can show you, and you can actually customize it on here as well. So if you go up to settings and you go to sound and screen, I think it is, and go to the display. Is it? No, it's not that one. Go back. Is it the video output settings? It is, yeah. And you can come here, you can put into automatic. If you go further down, you can actually adjust the HDR. And as you can see, adjust the HDMI, the high dynamic range settings to enjoy with optimized video quality. This setting is effective only for some applications, so only some will obviously do that, but that's the PlayStation itself. Wants me to close other applications, which I won't do at the moment. But you can basically come in here and you'll see different images, and obviously it'll tell you how to work out those HDR images and get them cracking, and then go into game and then go and do the same in game, and you'll have a pretty decent time with this monitor. So I definitely recommend you check out this monitor if you want a good monitor and something that's future proof, especially you buying PS5. This is 144 Hertz, so this will give you what you need when we actually advance. And I wanted to future proof this monitor so that when we're going forward, obviously would have the ability to have the 120 Hertz when the PS5 does launch, if in fact the PS5 does support that 120 hertz that they're saying, obviously, for, well, the frames per second, I should say, for obviously when you play those new games, instead of being at 60 all the time, it'll be at 120, and obviously this will go even further than that if there is any possibility that I might change it in the future. So there you go. It's absolutely amazing. One of the best monitors I've had for a very long time. Like I said, I'll link it in the Amazon description in below. Thank you once again, BenQ, for such a great monitor. It definitely gets my rating. I would definitely give this a very close 9.5 out of 10. It's been absolutely amazing. The only thing I can't talk about too much is the audio quality of the actual monitor itself, because I've not really had chance to try out the game with just the monitor itself. I always obviously use a headset when I'm gaming, so I don't often use that idea of having that on there. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I actually find this to be one of my favorite monitors. I definitely would probably get another couple of these if I ever do multi-screen for live streaming in the future. And I definitely recommend you go and check out these bad boys, because they definitely are good. And if you are buying a PS5, you definitely want to have a monitor that is future-proof. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop that like, subscribe if new, tap that notification bell to be notified of all my videos, and you truly can be one of my convicts, or if you're a lady, a convicette. And yes, it is I, the convict, signing out. And as always, I salute you, my convicts and convicettes, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Definitely well worth the money. It is a pretty beast of a monitor. All I've got to do now is upgrade my connection to go with this monitor, such as the internet, and I will probably have a pretty beast time. Definitely check it out. Description below, and bye for now.